Hello everybody, welcome to SpaceBourne 2. I wanted to highlight this game because it's a lot of fun, but more importantly I want to try and help out the developer. As you can see there, Burak, is that the correct pronunciation? Is both the developer and the publisher, and is just one guy, which I think is amazing. So when you actually play this game you realise it does have quite a lot of depth to it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a little unfortunate that I have to play through the sort of tutorial missions in order to start a new game. Having played it once already, I already know all of the stuff, so I'm just going to very quickly skip through the initial missions to get set up with the capital station. But just prior to getting the capital station, when there are HQ in the caves, there's a lot that I can show you, which I think can be confusing, can be a little difficult, but I'm going to try and unveil some of the issues that you might encounter and give you a few hints and tips along the way. So I've called this Zero to Hero because I am literally flying from a new game right the way through to, well, hopefully dominating the galaxy. But I hope you enjoy this little playthrough. It'll probably be just a few episodes and we'll see how far we can get. And if you'd like to support the developer, Burak, I strongly urge you to pick up this game. It's not a hugely expensive game and I think the guy needs all the support he can get. Updates are regular, pretty much weekly when he can do it, 2 weekly at most. And the game is progressing very nicely. So join me on this little run through and let's see how far we can get. I'm going to start a new game and we're going to set up another character, but before we do that we get to choose your attributes. Now my advice here is go with Adventurer, because the others you get naturally through playing the game. Soldiers you get by going on the ground and shooting things, pilot obviously from your spaceship. So I would pile all your 35 points into Adventurer. So you can see what each one does, and you can see coordination gives you cargo capacity, the main affected stats are at the top there, that's our current cargo capacity. But if you put it into the others, you're going to level those up anyway, and Adventurer is the hardest one to level up. So if you choose Intelligence, Luck and Coordination, just look at the affected stats here. So crafting efficiency is not too important, trade probably not too important, experience for bonus for all classes and that sort of thing, loot drop, chance and quality, that's all very important. So what I suggest you do is just spread the points out fairly equally amongst your Adventurer class. You're not going to notice anything suffer in the other classes because you're going to be leveling those up pretty quickly anyway. So 16 on each leaves you 5 if you so wished. So for instance, critical hit, damage boost, all that sort of thing, you could put some into those if you wanted to. And I'll leave the choice up to you. Realistically, it's not going to make much difference. So I'm just going to chuck them here because energy and recharge rate is useful when you're shooting weapons. So it's as easy as that. So your background. Well, honestly, this doesn't make much difference in the game. You can, if you want, go for the variant merchant, for instance. Honestly, in the state of the game at the moment, it's not going to make much difference. I like to go for pirate, because we're going to be very dependent on loot and looting, whether you are actually a pirate or not. So I usually choose pirate just for the sake of, well, you've got to choose something. So here you get to choose what your character looks like. It is fairly basic and you can use preset skins. So yeah, just well, choose what you want to do there. Again, you're not really going to get to see your characters, so it's fairly irrelevant. I think maybe a randomize would be a good idea, but well, we don't have that. So I'm not going to be too picky. We'll just go with there you go, the guy with the goatee. That seems good to me. And lastly, we need to give him a name. So, as it's me, we'll do that. We might as well have capitals. Or not. Yeah, capitals looks better, I think. We'll do that. So we can change it at that point, or we can just kick into the game, and obviously if you've seen other videos you're going to know exactly how we start the game. It doesn't really matter what choices you make in the dialogues, the result will always be the same. So here we are, we've woken up out of our sleep, and what a spiffing looking character we are. So we're going to shoot around to... where is she? The lady that wants our rent.
It's about time you woke up. This burden of doing nothing all day must take a toll on you.
Okay, so I'm just going to shoot through these, not going to sit here and answer and read all the text out. You've probably seen it a million times before, and if you haven't, you'll see exactly the same thing when you play the game, if you decide to play the game. There we go. Okay, so you know what comes next. Same old, same old. I'll catch up with you when we get there. Now, a little tip here, one of the things that caught me out in this game is the control. Control method is to move the cursor around and you basically go where your cursor is. Now that's fine for a lot of people, but it's not for me. I don't find that an easy way to play at all. It's true that in some of the space battles you might find it easier just to put your mouse cursor over the target, but for me I press K. So when you press K, it fixes that mouse cursor over your reticule, and then you can just have direct control over your ship. So we need to go to a mining station. Let's get going.
We have been seeing unusual activity in this asteroid field for a while. Unidentified scout ships patrolling the area. We want you to take care of them.
Shield recharging. Target shields down. Target destroyed. Target shields down. Target destroyed.
Hey, these are just scout ships. We need to find out why they're here. Give me a second. There's a station up ahead that was destroyed by an asteroid impact. I see a movement there. We need to find out what they're hiding there. Would you sneak up there and check it out? I don't believe it. They set up a secret base here. Watch out. They shouldn't notice you, or they can destroy everything, including you. Try to get close. Watch
Shield
out. They
recharging.
set up turns around. I see your ship as a governor. Use it now. Good. Now move slowly and don't fire any weapon, or they can locate you. We have to get into that building, but you can't get there with your ship. I know it's dangerous, but but you have to leave the ship and neutralize those pirates. I will give you extra reward for that. I found a blind spot for your ship. You should leave your ship there and get off. I see you don't have any weapons on you. Let's find you some firearms. Give me a second. I found some weapons and ammunition there. Go on, equip them before the encounter. Good. Now go to that platform and neutralize the pirates. Don't use your space suit. The turrets can shot you. Good job. Watch out. There's a drop ship approaching. Get cover.
Shield recharging. Weapons online. Shield recharging. Target shields down.
That's it.
Target
I can't
destroyed.
see any activity around. You did a great job. Come to Axel. Your rewards are waiting for you.
Landing gear deployed.
Great job out there. Know any? This old thing. It's an old piece of junk I found in the remnants of an old battlefield. Why are you so? I've already. Just be aware. Well, it just so. Great.
Okay, so we've got the perfunctory mission done, the start mission. You do have to do all the missions in order to benefit. because you need to get the station and all the generals to help you. But just before we go ahead, you could see in the top left hand corner there, up there, that we do have some points to spend. So that's in our talents, and in this case pilot, obviously. So even just doing that gives us 3 points, and you need to choose which ones you want. Some of them are useful, some of them not so much. So it will depend on your gameplay style where you choose to spend those points. I put the first extra ones into alertness, so that's going to give us these more XP and things here. So this one is quite an important one. To get more XP means you level up faster, which means you can open up more stuff. So that's generally where I go for first. We're not there yet. I'm going to keep piling points into that. But you can do that at this point. So we need to go to the old war debris on the next one. So I'm just going to carry on ploughing through these just to get to a point where I can start to show you some more interesting stuff. Let's call it that.
Landing gear retracted. Calibration module activated. Calibration completed. Waiting for the thruster input.
This place is more crowded than I expected. These salvagers, they don't normally
Weapons
welcome
online.
you to do work in their area. That's why you should get rid of those salvagers first.
Shield recharging. Target shields down. Target destroyed. Target shields down. Target destroyed. Target shields down. Target destroyed. Target shields down. Target destroyed.
I'm coming in. Okay, let's start. Interesting. I'm getting signal from the headboard. I think it's trying to redirect us to other parts. I was right. I already found the first part. I think it's a leg. We have company.
Shield recharging.
ship.
Target destroyed.
I got you, you son of a bitch.
Shield recharging.
Let's move. Civilian ships leave this area.
Target shields down.
Look out for ships. Then we can head to. I don't think we should get involved. Wait, don't stand still.
Target destroyed. Shield recharging. Target shields down. Target destroyed.
Okay, I got the password. Let's leave this place as soon as possible.
Weapons overheat. Weapons overheat. Weapons overheat. Target shields down. Weapons overheat. Target destroyed.
So you'll probably be actually quite surprised to learn that you can destroy these heavy fighters, even though clearly what we're supposed to do is leave. It is quite possible to destroy them. You don't really get anything for doing it,
Weapons overheat.
but it's fun.
Target destroyed.
So we're quite low on shield now, but I can see there is a crate to be collected, so I'll see if we can get that. Even if it's not usable stuff, it's all stuff we can sell.
Shield recharging. Target shields down. Shields are offline. Weapons overheat.
Not too worried about the shields because they're pretty pitiful anyway, but we don't want the armor to go down.
Target destroyed. Overheat.
red, including the big ships. But as you can hear, the battle is still raging. I think you're probably not supposed to kill the big ships. You're supposed to just get the heck out of here. But well, shooting. You enjoy it, right? So, full pips to shields, and let's walk away somewhere. I don't think it really matters where we go. Let's just go back to the station. We're going to want to sell some stuff anyway.
Calibration module activated. Calibration.
Oh, I should just mention before we do leave, although I can show you later. You maybe noticed there that I was able to get behind and stay behind the enemy, and what I was doing to achieve that, in normal fly mode you press the W key and you go forwards, and your speed forwards is regulated by the amount of power you've got in your engines, as you can see. So I had very little power in my engines, but if you press the caps lock key, then it holds your forward speed, and you can regulate that forward speed using the mouse wheel. So here we take a bit of time to get up to speed, but I can drag that back with the mouse wheel. So if I'm able to duck in and get behind one of the enemy fighters, then I use the mouse wheel to change my cruise speed. So it is effectively like automatic cruise, and that allows me to stay right behind them. As long as you don't go too close to them, they'll just stay in a straight course, because they are trying to get away from you, and that makes fighting a lot easier. So that's a useful little tip. Anywho, we need to go. Yes, we have set it.
Drive online.
The shields are back up now. We'll put full pips to engines,
Calibration.
and the armour will get repaired when we dock.
Thruster input.
Okay, so here we get to choose our first perk. As you can see, I've still got 4 points left. So we gained a lot of points for shooting those heavy fighters. So the more XP, yes, definitely. And then we have a second one, if you noticed there, we need to get to tier 2 of that, and we get 25% more XP. So for now, we're just going to keep piling all the points into there. And that's all gone. We need, I think, one more, and then we can do that, and that'll help to build our XP up. So meanwhile, let's get to Sonic Station. I'm not going to bother docking here. We don't need to, and we can sell our stuff. Where's the space gate? Don't see it. So in a case where you don't see it, just select it directly. There we go.
Calibration
Now,
module
before leaving the sector, I've noticed this game can crash quite a lot.
waiting for the
So
thruster.
my advice before engaging here is just hit F6, and that'll do a quick save. You see in the bottom right hand corner we get a tick, so that's done a quick save, so that if during the warp it crashes, which it can do, at least you've got that bit saved up to there. Some stations you can control H, doesn't always work,
In order to use station
but in that case
Landing gear deployed.
in the next minute.
And there we go. So we can have a look at the station services here, component management, and see if we picked anything useful. We have got a pod catcher, so that would be useful. We'll keep that. We don't have anything else that will fit in systems. We can check the weapons. We don't have anything that fits in those. And we can check the rockets. Now these cost, I believe, 1 TY each, so don't worry about it. If you want to take off the ones you've got, just click the minus sign, and then you can click whichever one. I like the burners. I also use the shield breakers, but hopefully we won't need that if we've got some decent pulse lasers or some kind of lasers. It shouldn't be a problem. And you can see we have currently got $1,000, but that's TY, I believe. So yeah, you see there it says 1 TY per rocket, so we're just going to fill up on those. And apparently we've still got 1,089. Don't know how that worked. So now we need to go to the market. Now my recommendation is don't upgrade your ship too much. You'll soon get a new one, and it's just spending money for the sake of it. So we can have a look here to see if we've got any better gear. So this is all level 3 gear, and we can see we are currently pilot level 4, soldier level 1. So this gear here applies to your soldier level, not your pilot level. So for instance the suit, which is level 3, I can't equip it because I'm only a level 1. So same with all of this stuff, it won't let me use it. Oh, it did let me use that one because that's a level 1 laser pistol. So the pistols, you'll find this is a single shot and does 10 damage. This is a charge single and does 53 damage. So you're probably going to want to stick to a single shot because you don't want to have to sit and wait for the thing to charge up before it fires. But that's personal choice, you might prefer it. Okay, so let's sell all of that stuff. It doesn't matter which terminal you go to. You can click sell all and that'll give you the money. Okay, so I'm not going to bother trying to buy anything. What we want to do is go down the elevator and talk to Smem. So from here, the easiest way is fast travel, and I think you go to the marketplace, and he's just around the corner here. Here we go.
How can I help?
The launch ship for the Terra system.
Again, your choices in the conversation don't make any difference whatsoever. Gives you slightly different conversation, but it makes no difference to the game. Okay, so now we need to go to Corin's lab. And to the elevator.
Warp drive online. The surface align process is completed, waiting for the thruster input.
So this planet's not too bad. The wind speed is actually quite low here, but a little tip that is wise to remember, especially on the very windy planets, if you put full power to engines, it makes it a lot easier. A lot easier to fly, a lot easier to land. You won't notice it here because the wind speed is quite low.
Landing gear deployed.
I knew it. These are Corin's men, and I'm sure they know you're here. Don't stand a chance against the mercenaries of Corin's with their equipment of yours. You need better equipment. I know where Corin hides his stash. Let me show you.
So we can't use that suit either. So we need to be level 2. Laser pistol, pulse, sniper rifle, that's very useful. So what have we got? A pulse charger, let's put that in there. But the assault rifle is useful for this kind of close-up stuff.
See drop ships approaching your area. Get ready.
Looks like they're a bit loath to come in. Oh. Yeah, okay. You got me. I'll definitely take the loot. So you can use a sniper rifle here, but because they're moving, it's quite hard. Better to wait until they stop. Because this guy's just going to rush me, so we really want an assault rifle.
is not here. I'm sure they took him down to the research centre. I know I'm asking too much, but would you go to the key by elevator and check it out?
So just come to the body.
Yes. Dead. How? Damn it. I told him not to mess with Quinn. Wait a second. Do you see any AT documentation around? It should be in a small mechanical box. Damn. It must not fall into Quinn's hands. Fortunately, we had a tracking device attached to the AT document. Just wait a sec. I know I'm asking a lot from you, but Quinn stole the AT document and is about to leave the atmosphere. You must catch him immediately. According to my screen, there's a cargo ship directly overhead. The AT document must be in a container on that ship. Please don't let them escape.
Landing gear retracted.
Of course, there are fighters defending the ship.
Shield
Don't get to the
discharged.
ship unless you destroy them first.
Yeah, so I'm having a few problems here because of the weather. So, blowing me around all over the shop.
Weapons overheat. Weapons overheat.
So I think we're going to have to go full weapons, full engine as best as we can.
Target shields down. Weapons overheat.
Don't have any means to cool my weapons down at the moment, so I'll just have to keep switching between them.
Target destroyed.
On planets with gravity below 14.2 ms squared, you can use the spacesuit as a jetpack. For this, eject from your ship. When you have a surface to land on, you can shut down your jetpack with a G-key.
That takes the cake. They have guard drones. Watch out. No, it is not in here. Not here. Damn it. Please keep looking. Here it is. Please bring it to me at any cost. We can't let Quinn get those. Wait a second. We can't leave any evidence behind. According to my screen, the middle container carries gas canisters. With their help, we can destroy the ship. Now go and shoot the gas canisters into the cash fire. Be careful. You shoot more than necessary. It will explode while you're on. Get on your ship! Now! That's it! I can't thank you. Please bring me the 18 documents. And as promised, your robot is about to be repaired.
Landing gear deployed.
So we might as well have a quick look at the stuff that we've got here. It's all very low level, it's all level 1, but again you can hold the S key down to do a comparison. So we don't have a scanner, we don't have a drone, we don't have a cargo, so none of that is of any use to us. You can see what you've got here. Obviously we don't have any of those. Again, weapons, we didn't pick any weapons up. If there's anything you want to keep, you can chuck it in the bank here. So I did see somewhere, I think we have a shotgun, maybe? No, don't see a shotgun. But that's a nice suit. So I'm going to keep hold of that. The cargo ones I tend to keep if they're good. So that's 60. It's kind of average. You do get them up to 70, even 77, especially as you go up the levels. But for this stage of the game, I'd say 60 was quite good. So I'm going to keep that one. We don't need those. Pulse charger, no. We've got a sniper rifle on us. What's that one? 73? No, that one didn't really. It does help a little, but it's got a smaller magazine because you can't have 0.9 of a round, so it's only 11. So we'll get rid of that. Okay, so nothing else I need to keep. Sell all. You can see we're already up to 20,000 and basically we're just playing the story mission. So there's no fast travel here, unfortunately. You need to go down the elevator to get a fast travel. And there.
I can't believe what you took this promise after all this about these thanks again.
Please proceed to gate 3 immediately. The final checks are being completed, and the captain will order for the door.
So meet Drain.
Approximately 5 minutes time.
I was
repeat.
It's under my
Yeah, we know all about it.
Thank you.
for that. Which now the your father. Do you at this your father in Rid? Of course, you'll need great near at. What is that? We have plenty of time. There is a I would say, if you don't mind. Wise choice. Let's be a
Let's get through all that conversation. Okay, now Drain's going to follow us and then climb on the ship. So you will need to do some upgrades, some ship upgrades at various times, even with this ship, because I think you'll have a hard time keeping up with the game without doing the upgrades. But everything is quite expensive. We only have 20,000 credits, and I think as they kind of steal the ship off you, you do get it back, but they give you a better ship anyway. So I'm kind of loath
First,
to do any
open
upgrades
the
on this one.
services panel to manage your ship. To load weapons, open the weapon manager. Before starting, unload your old weapons by clicking on them on the left panel.
So they've given us some new weapons anyway. So that's actually interesting that the pulse weapon, although it's a laser, is really good against armor. So we've got a better Gatling.
On the right, weapons do not belong to a group when loaded. You have to group them yourself. Now add this weapon to fire group 1.
So Gatling 1.4, 190.
Now load the second weapon and add it to the second fire group.
So the rail actually does pretty much the same damage, but overheats much quicker. So
good.
we'll
Now
go with
let's
the
load the
That's
components
the
on
one
the
we
ship.
want.
Just like the weapons, you can load the components by clicking on the cargo. But first, remove the old shield and hull components, then load the new ones.
So yeah, that's much better. So we'll take those out. And ship armor, that one. And shield.
Each ship's component slots are different. For example, this ship has weapon systems and aim component slots. These slots are hard to find on every ship. All set. Now close this panel with the exit button.
Yeah, we've got to do as we're told. Actually, I want to go back into here and just replace that rocket I used. And then if there's anything you want, you can chuck it in the bank there, but in actual fact, all of that is starter kit, which is absolutely useless. So before we do anything else, what we will do is nip back in here and sell it all. And that's a nice 65,000 they gave us. Thank you very much. In case you're wondering, by the way, if you go here, you can see what ships are available and their price. So the Nexus is actually a ship we will be given anyway, but you can see you could buy, that's a tier 2, 1.8 million, and they do seem to get more expensive as you go through the game. But that's because the tiers increase, so that's a tier 1. And you see the armor is very low. That's pretty much the ship we've currently got. The tier, I think the one we've got is tier 0, that's a tier 1. And you can have obviously a heavy fighter or capital ship. Again, they get more expensive as you go through the game. So sometimes if you see a good one at a bargain price, like that's a good ship, but it's very low spec. So sometimes it's worth buying it because you can increase the tier yourself. But for now we don't have anywhere near the money. Here, if you want to select, for instance, lasers, we switch off everything else. So unaffordables, high level we can leave on, but we're looking for lasers. Click filter, and that just shows you the lasers they've got. So you can see the pulse here. Does 204 damage, slightly better than the one we've just fitted. Another one there. So again, as you go through the game, these will all level up and you'll get much more efficient weapons. But for now, we're going to keep the money. Okay, so current contract, save anchor, or the anchor. We've got to wait until the raid is ready. So presumably they will notify us when we're ready to do it. Meanwhile, we can just carry on. We've got some soldier points. We managed to level up to level 2, which I think was enough for something I put in the bank, so we can go and check that. And again, this is personal choice. The ones with the asterisk you can equip on your soldier to use in battle. The ones without are just passive. Again, it is very much your own choice. The turret I've used, it's not particularly effective, I didn't think. Shield is useful, but again you might want to pay more attention to the affected stats. So when you click on each of these, it'll tell you what stats that affects, whether or not you choose to take the freebies that come along with it. So movement speed, HP recovery, armor repair, all that sort of thing, energy recharge rate. So again, you've got to choose what's going to suit your particular game style. So range damage, damage over time, it's probably a good one. Okay, we've got nothing on board. I didn't buy anything. We could fit some stuff, as you can see. Components, we've only got one podcatcher, but I believe we can carry, if I get the right buttons, we can carry, I think, 4 captives. Not sure where that says that. No, it's not on the stats. Pretty sure we can carry 4, so you might want to get some of those, but only if you're going to be fighting, ship fighting, that sort of thing. So one of the things we primarily need is monies, and there are numerous ways that you can get monies. The most obvious and easiest is to go and raid. So just before we get into that, we can just get away from the station. So you can see where we are, Zanaxa, level 30 to 40, and that's clearly way above where we are. Now we do want to get some higher level stuff, but primarily we need to find some stuff that's going to benefit us now, not at a later date. So if you scroll out, you can see the whole galaxy. You can see that's level 1 to 11. It's probably a little bit low. So maybe 5 to 15, something like that. That'll allow us to level up, get some good stuff to sell, and maybe get some stuff that's useful to actually use. So we're going to click on that one, and within that sector we've got all sorts. So 6 to 16, 7 to 17, 3 to 13, that kind of thing. So we can just choose that one and to the Stargate. And again, remember, before actually engaging warp,
Calibration module activated. Calibration completed.
hit a F6.
Thruster input.
And that'll just make sure you've got a save point there, so you don't have to go all the way back through everything that we've just done. Okay, so here's our first planet. Just wait for the warp drive to cool down and press B. That shows up anything on the surface. So we want villages. So you can see there's a Yodel village there. I wonder if they take deliveries. Quim village, Real Cube. Now we've no way of knowing what type of villages these are until we get there. So you just have to dive on one, and if it's not the sort of village we want, then we'll have to come back out and find another one. Alright, so this type that's very square like that has these square buildings in it. There is no point in attacking it. You might get some loot off the guys you shoot, but these buildings don't have any loot in them at all. So when they're all technological like that and square, no point. Just wasting your time. I mean, shooting the guys you'd still level up, but we're here for loot. So okay, so here we are at a planet. I had to try a different planet. The last planet I went to, we had one bugged village and 2 villages of the wrong type that didn't give any loot. So we're going to try this one instead. There's one right in front of us there.
The surface align process is completed, waiting for the thruster input.
Okay, so this one looks better. This is kind of mud huts. This is what we want, and it's level 8 to 12, so we shouldn't be having too much of a problem raiding it. After all, only mud huts. So you can ignore the spaceships coming and going. They're just we might call atmospheric. But you see, it has got turrets, so you're gonna have to be very careful here not to use the jetpack or fly. But we're going to stay a fair way away and just try and pop a guy off or two. A group of them there. There we go. So then the alarm goes off.
Attention, our city is under attack.
Oops.
Please do not
He might be a bit far away.
intervene.
Red arrow for him. He did hit him. Anyhow, they'll come to us, so we don't need to worry too much. Just sit here and pick them off. If I could hit them. Do with a better sniper rifle, I think. Okay, so we are losing health here, because my armor has already gone down. So I'm just going to creep away a little bit. Yeah, they're coming a bit closer than they usually do. Hopefully we'll get a better sniper rifle when we can collect their loot. So you can see we need to take into account the drift, like if they're running side to side it takes time for the bullet to get there. And also if you look at the top of the screen you can see the red bar is halfway, so we know we're halfway through what we need to do. So we just got to wait, hopefully they'll keep running out and we can keep popping them out. There they go. So now they abandon the city. We're safe to run in and collect up any loot that we've created. You don't have to worry about that guy, by the way. He's just an animation. So initially I'll collect everything. So we know there's some up here where we were taking those snipers off. The turrets are now down, by the way, so you don't have to worry about those. There's some melted metal there, which I'm really not interested in. And then it's just a case of start at the beginning. So what I usually do is, if my ship is there, I'll start closest to my ship. And then you come to the door and kick it in. And inside this table here, there's your loot. So you see the melted metal, and it's absolutely worthless. But just to make it easier for now, I'll collect everything. We'll go around anti-clockwise. But because we won't be able to fit everything in the ship, we're going to have to start choosing what we throw away. And you have to be fairly brutal sometimes, because some of the stuff can be worth 20 or 30,000, but by keeping it, you're stopping yourself from taking stuff that might be hundreds of thousands. So you need to get quite brutal with what you chuck out. Okay, so you can see we've run out of free slots now, but there's still stuff here that's worth 60,000 there, 20,000. So this is where I say you have to get kind of brutal. So if you go to your cargo, what you can do is you can sort by value, level, and I'll take off quantity because I don't think it works anyway, and tier maybe, and then you can click on the value at the top here to sort it into order. So you can see melted metal. Although we've got a little bit of it, it's useless. We're not going to use that. So what I'll do is I'll look at the value here, and anything under about 10,000 I'm not even going to bother with. Simply because a lot of the stuff here is worth a lot more than that. So initially we'll start at 5,000, and then if necessary we can increase the ejectables to 10,000. So you can see an awful lot of this stuff is just fairly useless. There's a level 3 sniper rifle there. I think I might actually keep. I've got others. I might probably have others somewhere. I might actually stop there. We'll just keep that for now. And then we'll go back to collect everything, and if necessary, go through and throw things away again later. Okay, so that's pretty much every door in the village, or at least I hope that's every door in the village. There is nothing in the centre, by the way, if you were wondering. There's never any loot in the centre building, which is odd. I would have thought that's where they kept the good stuff, but no, apparently not. So I'll just get back to my ship. Okay, and you can see I've thrown away everything that was less than 5,000 except the sniper rifle. And you can see I could have picked up some more, 36, 43, there is some other stuff, but it's all worth less than 5,000, so I wasn't too worried about that. In the scale of things, it's not going to make much difference. You'll also notice that none of this has any weight, which is strange. I think that's a bug, because clearly they do have weight. We can sort them by weight, and they show us that one's 3.2 m to the cubed, meters cubed, whatever. Kilograms? I don't know. It says kilograms and then m cubed, whatever. But it doesn't affect the actual weight of the ship for some strange reason. So that's a bit odd. So the first thing you can do now is just try and equip some better stuff. So we are soldier level 3. So you can have a look. For instance, the sniper rifle is a level 3. If we hold S down, we can compare it to the one we've got. So this one does almost double the damage of the one that we had. So we're definitely going to have that. This assault rifle, weapon damage 34 compared to 9. So you can see that makes a big difference. we got anything else? There is a pulse rifle there. And I actually quite like the assault rifles, so I think we'll stick to that one. Oh, we can't. Okay, that's level 7. Alright, I did keep a nice suit, which is level 3. And you can see that gives us 296 armor, so a significant amount more armor. Okay, so that was a successful raid. I'm about to warp, so before I do, just going to press F6. Wait for the tick, and then we're going to just go to... We could go to a faction hangar, I guess, but probably a good place to go is the Freelancers Guild, because we want to join them anyway, because that's a good way of getting stuff. Missions and things.
Calibration module activated.
Okay, so now we've got some services. We can actually see if we gained anything. We didn't gain any weapons. Components wise, we've got quite a few. So we need to start at the beginning. We don't have a defensive, spelt wrong, defensive pack, so that's no point in looking at those. That looks like a nice quality aim. So ship crit damage 63 as opposed to 49, and lots of bonuses. So that's pretty good. There's another one there, it's only a blue one. 0.556. Yeah, so that's a better one. So we find your aim component, and we want that one. So we got these for free anyway, so we might as well see if any of them are useful. 2.5 to 2.9, so that's not as good. Cargo we don't have. Another shield, 2.3 to 2.9, that's not as good. Another shield. No. Weapon systems, 3.9 to 2.2, so that's better. So I'm going to be careful here because they're both gunshot. I think it was that one. Power, 70 from 55, so that's better. Again, that's a Stellar, and that's a Stellar, so we've got to be careful you put the right one back in. Yeah, so it's that one. We don't have an offensive pack. That's not as good as the one we've got. Neither is that. You can sometimes check the bonuses on these, like sometimes you would want a specific bonus, so you might choose a lower damage bonus in order to get a better primary item bonus, but generally you want the best in the numbers. So that's not as good. That's not as good. That's not as good. Neither is that. Or that. Drone booster aim. No. So I think we've got the best we can get out of that, so all of this stuff is up for sale. If you wanted to, obviously here you can look at putting things in the bank, but I don't think we've got anything particularly good in here that we'd want to put in the bank. That's a level 9 suit. So is that. And we do have a level 1 suit there, which I've just upgraded my suit, so I don't think I need that. We did have a boost somewhere. What happened to the booster? That one. So I'm going to keep hold of that. It might be useful, it might not. So we can exit now. A recommendation I make in early game, if you're looking at buying things from the components or the turrets services, save the game here with F6, because every time you enter the station, the stuff in the that's for sale refreshes or is randomized. So sometimes if you're looking for something specific, by saving the game there you can just reload the game until you can find something that you're looking for maybe. So it's a little tip. I don't use it, I take my chance, but sometimes you might want to do that. So this is the Freelancers Guild. They do have terminals here that we can use. And we're just going to sell everything. So it looks like we only made 916,000 there, which seems a little low given that some of these are you know, worth a lot of money. But you can see we're losing a lot in terms of, I don't think it gives it, no, it doesn't give it on there. If you just go to sell and pick, for instance, this defensive pack, 151,000 value, but when we sell it, we're only going to get 108,000 for it. Simply because of all the taxes. So, because this is low-level stuff, you know, it's all relatively cheap stuff. So you can see we're not making that sniper rifle 73 TY. It's really not worth it. It's the one I started with, if you remember, we swapped it out. So all the good stuff we've kept. So we've upgraded our ship, we've upgraded our character, and we've now got 193,000. So you could, for instance, now start looking at, oh, maybe I get a better turret or a laser or missiles or something. So you can have a look, and you can see there are a number of T3s here. Static laser, we don't want those. Let's take flagships off. So there's a shotgun there, burst guns and that sort of thing. So this is a point where you could maybe consider upgrading. If you're wondering why the warp light burst is so expensive, by the way, it's because they're very, very good. So you get 2 or 3 of those in a row. They don't half take down armor very, very quickly, which is worth remembering. Anyway, we're not here for that.
Make sure you read the guild rules carefully before taking actions for our guild. Any action that will damage the guild's reputation.
We want to join the Freelancers Guild, so we have to do a Freelancers interview task. So while we're waiting for the other one to be ready anyway, we can go and do that. Now, these can be tricky, be warned. They can be quite difficult as you're ranking up with them, so don't be surprised if you can't do it. And if you can't do it, hopefully you've got a save, and you can just reload and then come back to it later on when you've got a better ship, or you know, when you're more capable. But let's go and have a go anyway.
Landing gear deployed.
Outposts can be useful, by the way, because you usually get a security kiosk here and a ship manager on this side, so it can be a quick and easy way if they allow you to dock. You've got captives on board, for instance. So to find your way around on an outpost, essentially just go down the stairs, and you should be able to see, yeah, so there's ships there. Sometimes useful, you can get ships here that you maybe haven't seen elsewhere. And 3 million, that's pretty good. I've not tried a Quen, we must try one of those, or a Mist. But yeah, some interesting ships there, and they're not outlandishly priced because they are very low tier. So once you see the services, you turn right for turrets, or left for components, and the components there. So in this particular instance, we want consumables, and we're going to go for, where are we? I think it's a T1 we've got, so we'll have another 4 of those. And then the energies and the shields. I don't bother with anything less than the T4, because for the price, well, you might as well. So the energy I rarely use, but it can be handy to have, especially with certain types of ships. You might prefer in the early stages of the game to go for a repair. So repair kit tier 4, for instance. Later on in the game, and I think actually now we do have Drain with us, who does repairs progressively. So I'm going to go for energies. And you can see that hardly dented our our monies. If you wanted to check, you can go to your ship and crew, and yeah, so you can see we do have Drain with us, but she's not actually allocated anywhere yet. She's just getting a free ride. But yeah, repairs ship armor for 0.2 of maximum armor every second, and that's actually really useful. Far more useful than you'd think. So components, this is all for the character. Everything here is stuff that character can use, assuming you've got the right level. And obviously here is your turrets. So again, if you want to upgrade your stuff, that's a good place to get it, but it's very expensive, as you can see. So we're not ready for any of that yet. We can use the services terminal here, and oh, all that stuff on us. I thought we just sold all that. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to take that one out and then put all 5 in together, because I have had issues with that in the past. So where's the other stuff? Energies I always put in the last, so shield next, and then energy. And if you're wondering why, it's because I have 2 extra buttons on my mouse, and I use one for the shield and one for the energies, and then I manually operate for that. So interesting, we've still got all that stuff. I wonder why it didn't sell that. It's possible it's because we got it, hang on, where are we going? From a ground raid, and sometimes that doesn't register. So sell all. It is registering again. Sell all, naught, okay. Yeah, it's gone this time. So it didn't allow us to sell it all at the Freelancers Guild, which is strange. So yeah, now you can see we've gone up to virtually 1 million credits just in the first, well, hour and 55 minutes I've been playing, so that's how long it takes to become a millionaire in this game. Okay, so we're going to set everything up ready for when we get there. We're going to lock on. I'm going to change the pips now, simply because I don't want to have to worry about it when I get there. So we'll start off with balance between shield and weapons. That might need to change. And last thing, F6. Although it's just saved when we came into the system, it just means if I make a silly mistake and I need to reload, I'm ready to go as soon as I load in. So let's see how we get on with this one.
Nirak sent word. Raid was ready and we were meeting on the escape route of Russian system.
Okay, so as soon as we drop in, I'm going to hit the caps lock key, get the weapons out.
Target shields down. Weapons overheat. Target destroyed. Overheat.
So weapons are overheating just as they're dying, which is not good. So what I'm going to do is put another pip in weapons. They'll fire faster and hopefully give us more energies.
Target destroyed.
You can't even deal with a single ship! You incompetence!
Shield recharging.
Yeah, so these weapons are pretty useless. I think we do have a lock on. No, we don't have a lock on.
Target destroyed.
There's the other guy. Now we have a lock on. Yeah, so you can see the damage that the missile is doing there. That's a burner missile, so you can see the shield going down. I'm obviously not firing at the moment, so they can be really handy. This guy's staying out of range on purpose, I think. That's alright, we have a lock on. You can have another missile, they're dirt cheap.
Target shields down.
Have another missile then. I can afford them.
Target destroyed.
There we go. So we're going to come off cruise, reset my pips, and then we're just going to collect up the loot. You can see there's a couple up there. So to collect the loot, obviously you need to scan it, select what you want, which you can do manually, like that, or you can just say select all, and then send your probe. You can look around for any ejected pilots. I don't think there was any this time, I didn't see any. No, don't see any. So now that we're a member of the Freelancers Guild, you can go to your, well, you can see in the guilds there, Freelancers. So we're just a member. We're not anything at the moment. I suppose we are rank 1 working up to rank 2 now, so we do have access to looking for pilot system, their basic armory, and we get a cut from the missions. And you can find the missions here, looking for pilot. That's all of those there. They don't pay awfully well, but their experience is quite good. And obviously it's all pilot experience that you get from there. So the other one we'll be looking to join is the Mercenaries Guild. Simply because with the Mercenaries Guild it gives you soldier experience, which is really handy. So again, we've leveled up our pilot skills, so we can do one into there. I think we can, yeah, we can learn that for more XP, and then we can look at what else we might want to do. So armor and shield by 25%, that's probably a nice one to have. I'm going to stick those into there. Anywho, we are ready to go and join the raid, and that's back to, this is an Exer K1. Which is there. So
Drive online.
Stargate is over there. Again, F6 is your friend.
Calibration module activated. Calibration completed. Waiting for the thruster input.
Operate to capture support buildings. Okay, so we can pretty much choose where we go here. Again, I'm going to put plenty of power into that. And
Weapons online.
weapons, and then caps lock so that I'm moving forwards, and then battle engines. Press and hold B. So this is the mechanics quarters. It doesn't really matter where you go. dropped us out a very long way away. I'm going to put some power into engines.
Target shields down. Target destroyed.
We're losing product drops. Need help. We need help at turret quarters.
Shield recharging. Target shields down. Target destroyed. Target shields down.
This guy seems to be running away. My burner rocket did a nice job.
We're losing product drops. Need help. We need help at turret quarters.
Target destroyed.
Okay, I got rid of that. So you can see on the right, under the raid system, we're at the mechanics quarters, and it's still orange, so we need to try and make it green.
Shield recharging.
We need help at turret quarters.
So it's easy to feel panicked here because this thing's shooting at you, but actually there's nothing to panic about. So we're just going to hang around here and wait for this to turn green. This is where you could pick up loot if there was any. You can see in the top right there, in the crates, you can see there are no crates there, so we'll leave it on fighters and then we can see if there are any red fighters left, which of course there aren't.
We need help at turret quarters.
There is one way over there, but there's a green dude on it.
Help.
It's interesting to note that when they're at a distance, very often the red triangle does not appear around the ship itself.
We need help at turret quarters.
Oh, we killed it just as I fired a rocket. Okay, so it's gone green now, so you want to be looking for another target. And the easiest way to do that is put the icon here, the hologram on the top, and then keep yourself level as you spin around.
We're
There
losing
you go.
product drops.
So there's
Need help.
turret over there, we'll shoot over there.
Target destroyed.
Have captured the shield quarters and ready to take the next step.
Okay, so that's everything. We just need to shoot off there now.
All support buildings have been captured. Soldiers are being dropped to the main building via drop ships.
Area is cleared.
Let's go there and make a landing at the prison station.
We need help at shield quarters.
No ammo.
We need help at shield quarters.
anchor, and welcome aboard.
Warp drive cooling.
Quick save there, just to make sure we've got that. And I presume we're going to Business City, yeah.
The surface align process is completed. Waiting for the
So again,
thruster
make sure you've got full engines on when you go down to the planet. Makes it a lot easier to control the ship. So it looks like we're coming back to pay our rent. Not.
Acutely followed. Don't get close to city or they can locate us. Lure them outside our border. Leave your ship at the spot I marked for you. I think they put a tracking device on the ship.
landing gear deployed.
Now come here on foot, we have things to talk.
Interesting. Never seen that before. Wonder if you could go and attack that. Oh, maybe we shouldn't. So, you think you're going to have to walk all the way over there, but actually, as you'll see, it's just a ruse.
What the f*** is that? No! Run!
Oops. Guess that didn't go very well. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you've had some little tips and tricks there that you can use. I will continue this on the next episode, and once we get more into the game, hopefully I'll be able to give you some more tips and tricks of raiding systems and all that kind of thing. But for now, I think that's a good introduction. I'm not intending covering all of the steps involved in becoming, free in the game to do what you want, taking over the universe and all that sort of thing. But on the other hand, I don't want this to be a step-by-step playthrough either, so I'm trying to achieve a compromise between the two. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed that. Maybe this is a game for you, maybe it's not a game for you. You have to make your own decision on that one. I think it's a fantastic game, and considering it's made by one person, one developer, I think he's really going down the right route, and I strongly recommend the game for anybody with a sort of X-Fighter type, space shoot-em-ups, sort of looter shooter. I think you'll enjoy it. But anyway, from me, that's all I got in this episode. Take care of yourselves now. Bye bye.